Heroes Cast number 1 starts now. Let's discuss this new Marvel TôKON Fighting Souls game. It was announced 2 days ago, or yesterday, I think it was yesterday. And basically this game, what do we know of it, right? There are a few things that we know about it. We just got one release trailer so far. And basically the name of the game again is Marvel TôKON Fighting Souls. It's gonna be a fighting game with Marvel characters, and this game is going to be released for PlayStation 5 and for computer, for PC, so one of these two platforms. At least for now, that's the info that we have. The release date is supposed to be on 2026. We don't know exactly when it's going to launch, but it's going to be sometime next year. And because they just released the trailer and we are in June, I imagine that this means we are gonna have this game closer to the end of the year, or at least mid-2026. Because I imagine that if they were to release this game already in the beginning of 2026, then we would have an announcement before, or at least have a release date already. Since we don't, I believe again it's gonna be more close to the end of the year, but we'll see. It's gonna be sometime next year. This game, what do we know about it? Okay, again, I have some notes over here. And what we know about this game is that it's a 4v4. It's gonna be tag team, and each team is gonna be containing 4 characters. So differently from the Marvel vs. Capcom games that we had so far, that were either 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. This game is gonna be 4v4. So it's gonna be something new here. Let's see how that is gonna play out. We also know that the characters Spider-Man, Captain America, Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes version of Ghost Rider, Doctor Doom, Iron Man, Storm, Star-Lord, and Ms. Marvel are gonna be in the game. These are the 8 characters that they showed up in the trailer. So again, we got teams of 4. They showed 4 characters in the team, 4 characters in the other team. And with this, these are the only characters that we've seen so far, 8 for now. I also read that the creator of this game said explicitly that you only need to master 1 character to play this game. He wants this game to be super accessible, and that with just a few button presses, or even with just 1 button, you'll be able to call your partners and have them performing different actions on the screen while your main character, the one is on screen, is doing the combos and playing, you know? So he made it very clear that he wants this game to be something simple. You're gonna have the simple mode and the normal mode. Normal mode is basically the one that you use in a fighting game, like performing the inputs for the special attacks to come out, like we do here in Marvel. Alright, you're seeing Marvel 3 gameplay in the background. So you're gonna have the normal mode, and the simple mode might be something similar to what we have in Marvel Infinite, like auto combos, stuff like that. I'm not sure, but the controls will have the 2 options for those who are more hardcore fighting game players, and for new beginners that are just entering in the fighting game genre. So about the game, this is what we have as far as I know. I haven't found any more information, but we can also make some analysis on the gameplay. Guys, I'm gonna take a look at the chat before we continue talking, because again, this is supposed to be a conversation and I want to hear what you guys think about it. Let's see. Z13 says he is so excited for the game and that it looks good. Z13, I'm excited for this one too. I want to see what they can cook. No, they're not going to be adding Capcom characters for DLC, because this is it's not a Capcom game, right? It's going to be a different company making the game, the same company that made Dragon Ball FighterZ, so it's very unlikely we'll see Capcom characters in this game. Salve Joker Miles, beleza? Beleza, mano. Sup, Mango Tango. Yeah, Raptor, basically that's the idea, you know? To please both the audience that is more hardcore and that wants to play more competitively, and the audience that is more casual. That's the plan that they wanted to go with this game. 4v4 fighting game is very new to me, for real, Super Saiyan 30. It's gonna be the first time I see a fighting game rocking like that. Might be the first game ever to work like that, so it's gonna be a new experience. And again, we know very little about the game. I've said already what we know for sure, but making the analysis on the gameplay, I wish I could have gameplay in the background for you, but I already lost my monetization on my secondary YouTube channel doing stuff like this, so I'm not gonna do it. So I'm gonna let Marvel pre-rock the back while we talk. But on the gameplay, if you watch it very carefully, you can see that there are many elements that are similar to the Marvel vs. Capcom games in it. Like, for example, the first thing I noticed is that you're gonna have a launcher system similar to what we got here. You can see Captain America launching Iron Man and bringing him to like super jump heights, similar to what we got here. So we're probably gonna get the system of launching the opponent into the air and then bringing them back down as well with a knockdown or something. Apparently you can convert after the knockdown. We see Captain doing that on Iron Man. Unfortunately, we don't got the hits count or the life bar to see if it all combos or if it resets, but the idea that it gives is that you'll be able to launch, bring your opponent back down with a hard knockdown, and even follow up the combo after, which is interesting. We're also going to have tags, obviously. It's going to be similar to what Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite did for what it looks. A straight tag into another character. You can see Captain America tagging into Ms. Marvel in the trailer. You can see Ms. Marvel tagging into Star-Lord, so there are multiple moments where the character simply leaves the screen while the other enters, and then you start playing with the character that just tagged in. So this element is more similar to Marvel Infinite in general. We can also see the crossover counter when Iron Man is blocking and then he tags into Spider-Man with a crossover counter. He performs a move, hits Ms. Marvel, and then he picks up from there. So crossover counter is a mechanic that we have in the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise since the very first games. Marvel Super Heroes already has it, so we're gonna have for this game as well. We are also gonna have assists, so you can see some assist calls like Iron Man assisting Spider-Man. You can see he doing like similar to a Unibeam that we got here in Marvel while Spider-Man approaches. You can see Captain America assisting Ms. Marvel, so you're gonna be able to not only tag like you can in MVCI, but apparently you'll be able to assist like you can in Marvel 3 and Marvel 2 and the other Marvels as well. We are also gonna have a new system apparently for the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise at least, which is the arena switch. When basically you're playing in one arena and then you do perform an attack, and that attack will cause the opponents to travel to a different stage, to a different scenario. You can see Spider-Man kicking Ms. Marvel into a different scenario, and other characters doing that too. It's something like we have on Injustice. I don't know if you guys ever played that game, but you can do something like that. And basically you change the stage, you probably do some good damage with that attack too, so an interesting mechanic that we're gonna be having here. And now there are a few things that are similar, but I'm not sure how they're gonna call it. But that sounds very interesting, like hyper combos. You can see some moments where we have Star-Lord or even Dr. Doom or even Storm performing a hyper combo, which is an attack that you can see it has like a longer duration, and that you have like a closed caption in the character that is going to perform the hyper combo. So apparently we're going to have that too. We're probably going to have bars, meter bars, like we do in Marvel and like we do in most fighting games, so that you can perform these more powerful attacks. And we could see, I at least noticed one from Star-Lord where he shoots. He was shooting Spider-Man and then he does a final blast into Fire Tornado. Dr. Doom when he shoots Ghost Rider with a gun, and then Storm performing a Whirlwind on Dr. Doom. These are the 3 hyper combos I noticed. I'm going to be calling hyper combos because we don't know the exact name yet, but apparently we're going to have that too. I also noticed that in this game apparently, not only will we have the tag system, but apparently we're also going to have the possibility of doing double tags into the characters. So like for example, you have a character on screen, you tag into another one, and right away you can already tag into the next one. You can see Star-Lord tagging into Captain America, then Captain America comes in, delivers an attack, and then automatically tags into Dr. Doom for finishing the combo. On Ghost Rider you can see that happening. So I don't know if the idea is that you can only tag in order, so that's why you have double tags. So in case you want, let's say, the third character, you tag into the second comes in, attacks, and then you can already tag into the third one. Or if you can just double tag for extra damage, I don't know what's the idea. But I imagine that this is meant for you to do in case you want to tag into the character that is, let's say, on the 3rd slot or the 4th slot of your team. Maybe you cannot tag into the character that you want at any time. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but apparently you can do double tags in this game. We also have something very similar to a team aerial combo attack. You can see Star-Lord doing a combo, and then he's in the air, he kicks and then Miss Marvel comes in, she delivers a blow too, then Doctor Doom comes in, he attacks the opponent, puts him back on the ground, and then a finisher happens with Captain America and Star-Lord together. So we are back to the original character, which was Star-Lord, delivering a final blow with the last character, which was Captain America. So similar to what happens on attack, where you hit your opponent, he's in the air, and then when you kick, when you punch, you get out of the screen with that character and you bring in a new one. We saw that happening once, and again we ended up landing on the same character that started at the end. I don't know if we can stop at any moment, keep the character that we want on screen, or if we gotta go all the way around everybody. But they showed it going all the way around everybody, and it was very similar to what's that. If it's gonna steal meter like it does in Marvel 3, if it's gonna build meter, if it's gonna deal more damage, we don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see, but it was a mechanic that looked very similar to Marvel 3 stack. And I also noticed that we got apparently an ultimate attack for pretty much every character in the game there that they showed, at least at the end, performs like this very powerful attack you can see on the very final minutes of the trailer. So apparently they're gonna have the hyper combo and an ultimate attack that can either be, let's say, a hyper combo level 3 or something like that, or maybe it's a separate attack from the hyper combos. We also don't know that, but that's hyper combo or ultimate attack, whatever you want to call, seems to be something that you're going to have to use more resources, and that is going to do more damage than the classic hyper combo. So we got to see a little bit of the hyper combo and a little bit of the ultimate attack as well. Again, I don't know how to call those, but that's what I could see, I could check, rewatching the trailer multiple times, you know, stopping it. And, well, you can see many elements in this game that are similar to what we got in Marvel vs. Capcom. So, I mean, it could be interesting. I don't know if you guys saw anything else. I'm going to be reading the chat right now to see if you notice any different elements on the gameplay or anything like that. If this game is really good, do you think it would replace MVC on your channel, or you still have UMC3? Sam's replacing, not, but it would probably be something I would also do in my channel. I would probably do Marvel vs. Capcom and then this game. If this game is good and I enjoy playing it, then I would be doing both. That's my plan. Prediction for the roster, we can talk about that later, Raptor. Gio Was, how you doing, dude? I love the Marvel vs. Capcom. I do think a new Marvel Team Fighter by Arc System, which made another fighting game, which is, we're talking about the Dragon Ball FighterZ, that I play a lot, is really cool, but I honestly would prefer a new Marvel vs. Capcom game. To be honest with you, Gio, I agree with you. I would prefer a Marvel vs. Capcom game. We love this franchise, and I wish we had that, but apparently we're getting something else, so let's see what comes out of it. I mean, we can't really judge without putting our hands on it and testing, but I also wished if I could make my wish come true, it would be a Marvel vs. Capcom game. But I don't know exactly what's happening, you know? We got Super Saiyan 30 here making his dream roster. Lots of casts, lots of people. Let's see if I think this new fighting game will be carrying on the legacy that the Marvel vs. Capcom games left. Okay, let me ask this. You mean the legacy, like if it will... I don't know what you mean by that, but I think this game could be, again, like the title of the stream that I put, could be potentially the successor or not. We're going to discuss that a little close to the end after I finish making the more close to the end of the discussion. We're going to talk about that, but you cannot deny that this game coming off is something big for Marvel vs. Capcom fans, for the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. This game coming out now is something important and relevant for the Marvel vs. Capcom future, so we gotta keep an eye on this game. Sup, Honterias Gaming, how you doing, dude? Super Saiyan 30. Don't want them to add the characters he hates in Marvel. Yeah, the idea is not to replace Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite here in the channel, it's more to add it, you know? But we'll see how that goes. But anyways, guys, I just finished reading the comments here. So let's go back to another part of the discussion. So we covered what we already know about the game. We covered the gameplay, what I could check out during the gameplay. But now we also gotta talk about something very important. What are the good things and the bad things that you can see in the trailer about this game, okay? Talking about the good stuff first, the thing that I wanted to mention that I think is fantastic, and everybody that gave me their feedback on this also agrees with me, is that the art design rocks. They did a great job. The game looks beautiful, it has an anime vibe, and I think that is always a great choice, because if you take a look at Marvel 3, for example, the one that's running right now, they made it to be similar to a comic. The characters are drawn to be kind of like they are in a comic. And that has the tendency of aging well. Many games that are comic-like tend to age well, and people don't look at the game's graphics and complain and say, oh, that aged badly, you know? Similar to what, let's say, Marvel Infinite did to be more realistic. Whenever you try to go more realistic, the tendency is that with the evolution of technology, people will look at it and say, man, didn't age well. But whenever you draw something to be like a cartoon, to be like a comic, to be like an anime, then the tendency is for it to keep looking well even after many years pass, and that's what's gonna happen for this game, I believe. I think the art design rocks. The attacks look very good too. The animation of the attacks hitting, the characters' attacks themselves, the way they punch, the way they kick, the way they shoot, everything looks clean. The animations look beautiful, and the art designs of the characters' costumes, I think it looks beautiful too. They did a fantastic job on that area, at least for what we got to see so far. So that is a great point for this new game that I see. I would like your opinion as well, but those who shared my opinion about the game also said the first thing that I hear people saying is that it looks good, and I 100% agree with that. I don't know if you guys think that game looks good or not, but I really think it looks good. Good night, good boy. How you doing, dude? The second point that is a good thing for this game is something that we don't have to worry about like we did in Marvel Infinite, which is the fact that we have Storm in the cast. That is a great point, because if Storm is in the cast, we are probably going to have more X-Men in this game as well. And this is something important, because one of the biggest complaints that we had in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was the fact that we had no X-Men, right? X-Men were literally the beginning of this franchise with X-Men Children of the Atom, and Marvel Infinite came and made a game without a single X-Men, probably due to right issues, problem with the rights of the X-Men. But for this game, we're not going to have that issue. If Storm is here, I'm sure they can also add other X-Men, and one of the biggest complaints we had in Infinite is not going to happen for this one. So X-Men characters are probably going to come in, and obviously hoped more than just Storm, but this is not going to be a problem for this game. So, I mean, the trailer is quite short, so these are the only good things that I can say, at least in my opinion, that were explicit in the trailer. And now I got a few bad things that I also noticed that I would like to share with you. Let me just take a look in the chat real quick. Yes, we're talking about the Marvel Tokon goods. Marvel Tokon. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't spend much time looking at the trailer, but it does look good. It does look good. It's very good. It looks very good. We got roster wishes from people here. Yeah, I mean, the roster, we're gonna get to that point in a second, but again, so these are the good things that I noticed in the trailer. But let's talk about the bad things. I mean, again, short trailer, so not a lot, but one thing that's really annoyed me, and I imagine that it also annoyed other people, but that it can totally be fixed, is the fact that everybody was speaking in the Japanese language. And honestly, for me, I would like to play them with the classic English language. I mean, we're talking about Marvel characters. I found it very weird for them to speak Japanese. Maybe it's because the company that's making the game is from Japan. So, okay, it makes sense that they would make the game with the possibility of having the Japanese language. But hearing Marvel characters speaking in Japanese sounds very weird to me. Marvel characters are usually American, you know. they're usually from the States, so they usually speak the English language, and watching them talk in Japanese sounded so weird, and I hope that they will be adding the English language for the characters as well, because if this game is just in Japanese, like I mean the actual voice acting just in Japanese, that is something that I'm gonna be pissed off about, because I really want to hear my Spider-Man saying stuff in English, you know? Spider-Man, I really wish they get not just him, but all the other characters with the good voice actors that we have that represent those characters so well. And of course, you're gonna have the Japanese option for those who enjoy it and for those who want that. But please add at least the English version as well, because if it's just in Japanese, I think not only me but other people are gonna be a little annoyed by that too. So that is one of the bad things I noticed. But again, doesn't mean that the game is gonna continue like that. They can add that language later, or maybe they're already working on it and they just showed it in Japanese. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see a little more. But that's one thing that annoyed me. And the other bad thing that honestly doesn't affect me, but I think it can affect other people, is that this game is not coming out on Xbox or Nintendo. It's only gonna be available for PlayStation 5 and for computer, for PC players. So everybody from Xbox and Nintendo will not be able to experience this game. And I honestly believe that whenever you limit the platforms of a game, it's something bad, because you're basically not going to be able to spread it for the most amount of people. And I mean, I think it's something good when you have the game available in multiple platforms, because no matter the platform that you have, you'll be able to play the game, right? But apparently only PlayStation 5 players and PC players will be able to enjoy this game. So Xbox people and Nintendo, sorry guys, but at least for now they said that the game won't be available for this platform. So I think that's something bad, and I think it's worth putting here on the list as well. But let's take a look here. Let's take a look in chat if there's anything new for you guys. Yeah, I saw Super Saiyan 30. Yes, you can join Home 3DS Gaming. The lobby is open here. I hope they have Josh Keaton. Yes, me too, Super Saiyan 30. Josh Keaton is my favorite. I wanted to get Josh for Spidey. But Yuri Lowenthal would be amazing too. Both of them are fantastic, though I prefer Josh a little more. Exactly, that's the point, Sams. In Marvel 3, for example, you had the option of putting... And it was individually for every character. It wasn't like, okay, or the game is in Japanese or the game is in English. You could go for each individual character and toggle on English or Japanese. You could literally choose. That was an option only for the Capcom characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That was only for the Capcom characters. But you could choose each character. So that was fantastic. They could do something similar for this game as well. But again, they gotta give you the option of choosing. They gotta give. It's gotta be an option. It cannot be forced. You know, you cannot force the Japanese language. At least in my opinion, I think it would be super weird. I think it would be super weird. Yeah, I agree with you, Gio. I think they will be adding more languages, and that this was just for the showcase of the game. But we never know. I mean, we are hoping for it, and then maybe the release comes out and it's just that language. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, but I hope they have more languages. I see, Raptor, but even if you like the Japanese, you gotta understand that having the option is always the best choice, because you can please everybody, you know? The more options that you have, the better. It's I find it a problem when the game only gives you one single option, and then you're only gonna be pleasing those who enjoy that option. If you had both options, or 3 options, 4 options, you have a wider variety of people that you reach that enjoy those different languages, that enjoy the different possibilities, you know? So if you like Japanese, good for you, but there are people that don't. So it's better that you have more languages so that you can please everybody, you know? That's the idea. Good Sassy is worried about the 4v4 because that seems too much. Yeah, that is something that we're going to be talking about here too, because 4v4 seems like something very very different, man. Imagine, I don't know, I mean, we had 3v3s, but 4v4 is one extra character, can already change a lot how a match goes, so I agree with you. I guess we're gonna have to give them a chance and experiment the game, but let's see. Yeah, console exclusiveness is something that happens a lot nowadays, and I mean, we're gonna have for computer. It's not just, again, it's not just for PlayStation 5. You can play on your computer, or PC players, computer players will be able to play, but not for Xbox and Nintendo. It's again, it's the same thing that I was talking about the language. It's options, you know. I honestly don't care if it's not for Xbox or Nintendo, because I don't have those consoles and I can play on my PlayStation 5. But I know that there are people that play on Xbox and that play on Nintendo that would probably like to experience the game but won't have that opportunity. So I think it's a bad thing for the game and for those who are interested in playing it as a whole, even though it doesn't affect me, you know?
Live and let die. Fight!
Okay, more people saying about the roster. Roster is it's gonna be a good part of the discussion. Sup Chalupa, how you doing? Exactly, they are Marvel. You expect to have more, but I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about that too in a second, Raptor, about the offline modes. I'm gonna talk about that too. Exactly. So it sounds weird, right? But yeah, exactly, Chalupa. That is another thing that I want to cover here, because it sounds so weird. It sounds so weird that you only need to master one character, but you're playing a 4v4. I'm gonna talk about that too, because it feels very weird, you know? Okay, guys. So let's get back here. I just answer all the commentaries for now. So these are the bad aspects. Again, the good, I think the art design and the fact that X-Men will be there, so no, we're not gonna have that problem like we had in Marvel Infinite. And the bad, only one language at least so far. They can fix this. They're probably working on other ones, but if it's only in Japanese, I think that's a bad thing. And the fact that it's not gonna be on Xbox or Nintendo, at least for now, as well. I think it's also something that is a little annoying. But this is what we can tell for what we saw. And now we got the expectations. What do you expect of this game? Now we are gonna get into a territory where it's not what we can see in the trailer, is nothing confirmed, it's just our wishes and what we can think about it when we see the trailer and what they showed us. So I got some good expectations and some bad expectations for this game for what we saw. The good expectations, I'm gonna start with the most obvious. Like, I wish this game has crossplay. Come on, we are in 2025. The game is gonna be released in 2026. Let the players play with each other in different platforms. I wanna be playing on my PlayStation 5 and playing against someone that is playing on the computer. I want to be able to do that. This will help for tournaments. This will help for you to be able to play with your friends. This will help to be able to reach more people. And that is why, again, I was annoyed that it's not going to be on Nintendo Xbox, because, again, it's more people playing. So, having crossplay is something that I expect they put. I really want them to do that. And the second thing that I have good expectations is that they provide us a good online experience. A lot of people talk how rollback is great, how rollback is actually one of the best possibilities for you to make a netcode so that you can have a good online experience. I'm not sure which is the best, but I would like that they try their best to make the online experience good, because we know what happens when you make a bad netcode. I mean, look at the game that is going on stream right now. Man, it sucks to play on the netcode. I mean, we gotta do a bunch of things to be able to play this game comfortably. We gotta install Parsec, we gotta run tournaments in there. It's so annoying. So I just wanted to do a good job on the online experience so that we can actually play the game. Just open it, go to the online possibility and play it, invite the people that you want and enjoy. I don't want to have to do all the stuff that I gotta do to play Marvel 3. Please, do a good job. This guy's made Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I've played that game just in the beginning, but I played the game in the beginning, and I honestly don't really have complaints about the netcode. It was very good. for the part that I experienced. So if they did a good job with Dragon Ball FighterZ, at least again in the beginning when I played, I believe they could be doing a good job for this one too, but even better because now we're again many years in the future compared to Dragon Ball FighterZ, so things evolved. Please don't screw this up. This is one of the most important aspects of a fighting game. People play online. They are gonna want to play against each other. Don't you screw up the online experience. We already suffered enough in Marvel vs. Capcom with this, so please don't screw this up. Work your asses on the good online experience and give us the crossplay. That's the good expectations that I would have for the game in terms of actually working. Now I also got good expectations regarding other aspects, but let me hear your thoughts on this. Let me hear your thoughts on this, because I know you guys also suffer a lot from netcode problems, so I think you guys are probably gonna agree with the crossplay and the good connection. 1v1 with 3 assists. Yeah, Chalupa, but they are not just assists. If you take a look again at the trailer or even go back, rewind to what we were talking about earlier, I mentioned many different possibilities that you have in this game that is not just assists. You get tags, you get crossover counters, you get double tags, you got something that is very similar to tech, Team Aerial Combo. Check out the trailer again and the gameplay analysis that I talked about. It's not just 3 assists, it's a lot involved. It's like MVCI with Marvel 3, it's a bunch of good things going on. I mean, we're gonna have to see if we use resources to do those things, because that is gonna change a lot. Like, if you have to waste bar to do a tag, then it's something interesting, you know? It's not gonna be as free as it was in MVCI. But again, we have no meter bars or health bars available in the trailer, so we can't really analyze that for now. But there's a lot going on regarding the possibilities that you have on how to use your partners. And I'm not even sure if they showed everything, so with what we got right now, we got a lot. I can tell you, we got a lot. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the characters in a second. Let's see. If it has exclusive platforms and it still doesn't have crossplay, I have no hopes for Marvel in any of its sectors. Yeah, man, I mean, that's what we're talking about. I mean, if you're just gonna make for 2 platforms and you're not even gonna give crossplay, it starts to become a problem, in my opinion. At least now in 2026, we can have all of that, you know. I don't know why not, but let's see. We're gonna have to wait and see this, but it could be a problem. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming out in 1 year from now. We are not that far from 2026. As I said, I believe it's gonna be closer to the end of the year, or at least around mid 2026. Because if it was gonna be already on the beginning of 2026, I think we would already have a release date, and maybe this trailer would happen earlier. Because I mean, we're just 6 months away from 2026, right? The beginning of 2026. So I believe we're probably still gonna have to wait 1 year and 3 months, something like that. But that's just speculations on my part. There is the chance that it will be already at the beginning, but I believe it's gonna be closer to the end, if I was to guess it, you know? I haven't heard that, Doom Blake. I don't know. Guess we're gonna have to see. You know, we're gonna have to pay attention for the next events. If they just announced it in this the PlayStation event that we had, we gotta keep an eye on the next ones. They're probably gonna show a little bit more of the game, show more characters, show more gameplay, maybe even some of those aspects like we're talking, like show the health bars and the meter bars, so we see if tagging actually costs meter, if it's for free, if calling assist is free. This way we can have a better analysis. I hope that they're probably gonna release more until the game is actually out. Okay, Super Saiyan 30 says the rollback netcode will be implemented in day 1. We hope, man. Again, either rollback or whatever it is that is the best online experience possible. We hope that, because again, a fighting game without a good online experience is just so freaking frustrating. You're literally killing the 90% of the experience. Almost everybody that buys a fighting game wants to play against other people and not against the CPU. So, I mean, you're obviously gonna play online. I mean, people don't have opponents available at their surroundings. I don't wake up and have an opponent to play with me right here. I gotta go to online, so they gotta get this right. Yes, I will be playing it, Chalupa. I'm gonna give it a chance, and I wanna see how it goes. I think it looks great, and I really wanna give it a shot. I'll be playing this game. But I'm gonna have to see if I like it, right? Yeah, we love Marvel, man. We love Marvel. That's why we're talking about here, because this one is big even for the Marvel vs Capcom franchise, and we're gonna get to this one in a second. Exato, tem Spider tá jogando, pô. Acho que vou pra perto de onde tu fica. Boa, Newton. A gente joga off, mano. But guys, okay, still talking about the good expectations. Crossplay, good online experience, okay, but now we are gonna have to talk about the alternative modes. Like, okay, everybody wants to play online, sure, but I honestly enjoy the offline experience of a fighting game, and I really hope that they give us some options. For example, I remember that in the Dragon Ball FighterZ, that was the other game that the same company made, they didn't really have, or maybe they added later, or they had, and I just couldn't find it, but there was no arcade mode. It's a fighting game, for the love of God. How can I not have an arcade mode? I'm sorry if the game actually had it and I didn't find it, but I remember I couldn't find it. I couldn't play against the CPU. There was a story mode, but the story mode was very, I don't know, it didn't feel like a story mode. It felt weird. I didn't like it. So for this game, I wish we had an arcade mode like we do in Marvel vs Capcom games, an arcade mode. Fight over fight until we get to a boss, you know? Or at least fight over fight until we beat everybody. I want the arcade mode experience. I enjoy playing those and I want it for the offline experience. I want a story mode. Yes, I do want that. Fighting games have been doing that lately, and that pleases me. I only buy Mortal Kombat games because of the story. I played Mortal Kombat 9 story multiple times. Mortal Kombat 10 story was bad, but I played it like once or twice. I want to buy the other ones for the story. Street Fighter 5 had a story mode. I don't know if the 6th one has. I hope it does. Marvel vs Capcom Infinite had a story mode, which a lot of people think it's bad, and I agree it wasn't really that good. But I want to have the option of playing a story. I wish, if possible, if they can find the time to do it. Put on a story mode. I mean, we have a Marvel game that only contains the Marvel characters, so making a story will be even easier than if it was Marvel vs Capcom, because now you don't have to create an excuse for the universes to merge and anything. It's just Marvel characters. You've got plenty of comics, you've got plenty of movies, you've got plenty of cartoons to take ideas from. Take the ideas from that and make a good story mode. Just with the Marvel characters, it shouldn't be that hard, and it also gives you another option for you to play the game in offline mode and again test different characters, which I think would be fire, and I would love if they put it. So story mode, a proper arcade mode, versus mode. Please add a versus mode where I can play not only against the opponent that comes into my house, play offline, but also against CPU. I love playing myself versus the CPU, choosing the characters that I'm playing. Let's say I want to make a team, I want to be Spider-Man, Captain America, Ghost Rider, and Dr. Doom. That's probably going to be my main team, by the way. Spider-Man, Captain America, Ghost Rider, and Dr. Doom. And I want to beat up, I don't know, Venom, Magneto, Sentinel, and Dormammu. Man, I want to be able to play that match, so give me versus mode so that I can select my characters, I can select CPU characters, and fight against the CPU. Please give me a versus mode, like the collection gave on the last update, that now you can do it. MVC Collection did it for the old games. Of course we can have it for a new game, so please give it to us as well. This helps for the offline experience when you're out of opponents. Being able to play against the CPU and choosing the opponents is all, choosing the characters, the CPU controls is always good. Another possibility that I wish they implemented, but I don't think it's gonna happen, but would be cool if they did, is a similar system as they had, but I think that is gonna be too much to ask, honestly. I think they're not gonna do it, and it's okay if they don't, but it would be amazing if they also offered you the possibility, but this again only for offline, not for competitive, to have a 3v3, a 2v2, or a 1v1, or maybe all the modes. Like, I don't know if you guys ever played Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, or even the Budokai Tenkaichi 3. But I mean, you could select how many characters you wanted to play and how many characters you wanted to give for the CPU. So I could play, let's say, I want to play Spider-Man and I want to fight a team of 4 villains. Spider-Man is gonna solo Doctor Doom, Venom, Taskmaster, and Magneto. I could pick only Spider-Man and give the CPU 4 characters, you know? Or, I don't know, I want to have only Spider-Man versus Venom. I don't want to have a full team. I just want Spider-Man and Venom. I pick the Spidey, and I give CPU only Venom. That would be interesting, you know? Or pairs, like I want Spider-Man and Captain America versus Venom Winter Soldier. That could be cool. I think it would be too complicated, because the system is probably meant for you to play 4v4. But if they implemented that idea, I think it would also be very nice, especially for the offline experience. And also one idea that they did for Mortal Kombat, and I think is awesome, and that they could try to find a way to do it for the Marvel, this Marvel TôKON game, which is multiple players per team. Like for example, we're playing a team of 4. I am Spider-Man. One of you guys can be Captain America, the other can be Ghost Rider, and the other can be Doctor Doom. If I'm on screen with Spider-Man, I got the control. If I press the tag button, you hop in with Captain America. And then if you press the tag button, you bring in the other friend of ours with Ghost Rider. You know? They did something similar with MK, where when you press the button, you tag in your friend, and then your friend plays with you in the same team. That would be fantastic, and I think it could be an interesting experience for the online, and to make it like, I don't know, you're playing offline and you have like 2, 3 people, 4 people to play with you. You guys can all play together, you know, instead of being just 2 players playing with each other. Could be a possibility too, I don't know, but I mean, it's wishful thinking, right guys? It's wishful thinking. It would be nice. But let me take a look on your ideas now for offline modes and alternatives to not just play online. What do you guys think? What do you guys have in mind here? Santa Cruz, em qual estado, Newton? Fala pra nós, hein? Yeah, that is another important discussion we're gonna have, Super Saiyan 30. The broken characters. Salve Linkin Park Games. Yeah, I mean, since we're talking about Marvel, and this game has a major budget. I didn't know this game had a major budget. That is a good sign. I hope they know how to use it, you know? You expect the story modes to be pretty decent, given they'll possibly have the Marvel writers. Yes, I mean, imagine a story mode just for Marvel. We're just having Marvel characters with a big budget. I mean, they have plenty of stories to explore here. They could be doing good. Oh, look at this question. It's cool. Raptor asked, who would you want the arcade boss to be? Now, that could be related directly to the story mode, would be dependent maybe on the story. But, not thinking of a story, just thinking of the boss, Doctor Doom is not an option because he's actually playable, as we saw. Thanos could be a possibility. I mean, we've had him in the cinematic universe, and he is a fantastic villain. I really like him, so Thanos would be nice. Doctor Doom is not an option. Galactus, we already had in Marvel 3, but Galactus is a fantastic boss. We could have Apocalypse, like we had in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. He's a very powerful mutant. Who else in Marvel could be a good boss? I really don't want to be Ultron or MODOK. I don't really want Ultron especially. We just had an MCI, and I don't think he would be my first choice for a boss, but Mephisto maybe. We have never seen Mephisto with the franchise. We only got like Blackheart playable and Mephisto special character in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Why not Mephisto? Maybe. I mean, I think that's the reason why the game is called Marvel TôKON Fighting Souls, is because there's probably gonna have something related to souls. So maybe this boss, this villain of the story mode and of the arcade, could have something related to that, maybe stealing souls, I don't know. Mephisto could be an option, you know? Mephisto is very powerful, he creates a lot of problems. So yeah, I think a few possibilities: Mephisto, Thanos, Galactus. Yeah, we don't want tiny characters, good boy. You already know, man. You already know. Quase! Qual que é o teu? Qual que é o teu, Link para Games? Qual boneco? Qual boneco? Cap, Doom e Ghost Rider. É, esse aí é o meu time com aranha, né? É um dos meus 4 favoritos. Okay, we have Scrooge McFill talking about the cast. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. A lot of people already sharing their thoughts on the characters. Take a look on the chat, guys. Depending if you're on Twitch or YouTube, people have been sharing. Let's talk about the cast here in a second. We're gonna be talking about that. Se tiver Taskmaster, encontrei um boneco. Woody wants to beat up Sentinel. Sentinel is coming to the game. I wish, man, so I can beat him up. Jogou Raging Blast? Então, tu conhece, mano. É, então, era legal de jogar off, tá ligado? Racial Teams, Chalupa, sorry. É no sul? Ah, então deve ser perto, mano. Deve ser perto, depois eu procuro ali. Santa Cruz, né? Depois eu procuro ali. É, então, cada um com controle, Link para Games. Ia ser engraçado, mano, ia ser divertido. Acho que ia ser divertido. Sup Steroids, how you doing? Right now, got gameplay with PS4, Ipsikini. No problem, man. I hope they have offline modes. Super Saiyan 30 saying, I hope they have offline modes like story, arcade, training, obviously. I didn't even include it in my list because training is a must-have in a fighting game. If you don't have a training mode in a fighting game, then you simply don't know what you're doing. You know, that's why I didn't include it in my list, but you're right, training mode must be there. So story mode, arcade mode, training mode, missions! Very nice! I'm gonna add it to my list, missions. I mean, we had that and missions are so cool. Challenges, missions. Let's have this. I like this idea, I totally forgot about it. Nice one, Super Saiyan 30. Missions, which could be combo trials. Or maybe even other types of challenges as well. A gallery, of course, this is stuff. A shop to buy titles could be cool too. Yeah, the missions, I totally forgot about those. Linkin Park Games said he would like to see Ultron as the boss, huh? I hope they give us classic outfits for the characters. Yes, the costumes. We're gonna talk about that together with the roster. Of course, we want lots of costumes. We're talking about Marvel characters here. They usually have tons of costumes. You wanna see arcade mode with character endings, good boy. See, I like that idea too. You gotta have the endings. The endings are classic. See the character, what he does after winning, you know? Kang is a character I would like to see. Kang, it could be. He showed up. Apparently, Kang the Conqueror, right? He's very powerful. He could probably be a boss. That is not a bad idea. Kang. Dormammu is powerful. Dormammu could be a boss as well. Dormammu is a big menace. Another good choice here. Newton, bringing him. Adam Warlock, is he a villain though? I'm not sure. If he's a villain, could be too. Phoenix! Linkin Park Games talked about it. We could maybe have the mutant Phoenix instead of being Apocalypse. Dark Phoenix. She could be a boss. Dark Phoenix is a hell of a character. Super hard to deal with.
Surrender is not in my vocabulary. It's do or die.
Let's see what else people are talking here. Let's see. We are gonna talk about that, steroids. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that later. It's gonna be a fun conversation. If they make it the kind of game where a bunch of unusual Marvel characters show up often and are playable, it would be cool so that people get to know older and less shown characters. Yes, I mean, they got a possibility of putting a lot of people here. We're gonna talk about the cast here, because the cast is gonna be a big part in this game. We're talking about a 4v4 game, guys. Lots of characters per team. Loki as a boss. Raptor's talking about Loki as a boss. Depending on which version of Loki you're talking about, if he gets a buff or something, could be big, you know? Could be big. Online modes, yeah, online modes, we can talk about that too. Player matches, classic, endless, you can play forever. Of course, you gotta have that option, so as long as you want to keep rematching, you can. Ranked matches, of course, having a ranked system for the competitive players. Of course, we gotta have that. Endless lobbies, of course, where you can play multiple players in the same room like we're having right now here for Marvel 3. Online training mode is something that we have nowadays as well. Marvel Infinite implemented so good. You can train with your partner, and then you guys can explore different ideas and possibilities together. Even though you're far away, you can do that online, which is very cool. And tournament mode is must. How would that tournament mode work though, Super Saiyan 30? Can you explain for us? I haven't seen a game that has that yet. Maybe I haven't played it, but how would that work? We have Steroids Job saying he still holds out hope for MVC4. Let's see. It's saying that since it's a Marvel game, it's gotta be broken. It's gotta be broken. Hitbox and frame data displays in training so that competitive is accessible. That is something that, at least when we're talking about the frame data, we have already in games like Mortal Kombat and Injustice. I remember in Injustice I studied the frame data of the game by going into training and looking at it, you know, -6 on block to +10 on hit, stuff like that could be interesting as well for the players to study the game, you know. Let's see what other possibilities people are talking about here. Let's see. Replays that you can check after battles. Replays are cool. Maybe have like the last match that you played saved. But that you can actually, with PlayStation 4 and 5 recording, it's a lot easier with PS5, PC too. But watching replays could be a possibility for those who don't record matches too, of course. Let's see. Ah, então, o Adam, se ele pode ter o alter ego virão, poderia ser o boss ali, né, mano? Yeah, Super Saiyan 30 sent a lot of characters. Lots of people here already shared their Dreamcast, guys. In case you want to check out the chat, you'll be seeing lots of characters. Então, né, rollback já ajuda pra caramba. Tem que ter a melhor conexão possível, né? Um jogo de luta, pelo amor de Deus. Oh, ratio teams like using one or more characters, but using less characters make them stronger. The idea could be interesting to Chalupa. The idea that I had was, like, not that the character would be stronger, he would just not have the backup. You'd have to play him solo, and the character solo beat everybody. But making him stronger if he's alone, and maybe similar to like an X-Factor system, like he has more life, he does more damage, maybe. Could be interesting too, but my idea was just like, if you want to play all alone, you're gonna play with the character all alone, no buffs, the character in the way that it is versus the others. Could be fun to have both possibilities, either making him stronger or keeping him the way that it is. Both possibilities could work. Could be fun. Let's see. Beyonder as the final boss. I didn't think about Beyonder. That guy could be something as well, but as far as I know, Beyonder is a good guy. I don't know, maybe they could create some story or something. Let's see. Let's see. O que é Perso? Eu não sei o que é Perso, Link Park Games. Não sei o que é Perso. I didn't know. Tournament mode apparently, so we got the explanation now. I played Street Fighter 4, but I didn't play that mode. You got a single elimination bracket that was perfect for online tournaments. So the game already makes the bracket for you, apparently. Could be interesting if the game could already make the bracket for you, save you the trouble of having to, you know, use other platforms to do that. For more amateur tournaments, that could be very interesting. Maybe even for professional. I don't know how they would do it, but for amateur tournaments and for people who just want to have some fun with friends, could be an amazing mode to have as well. Ah, personagem Dark System. Eu preferia que manter só Marvel, cara, mas daí é meu gosto, né? I don't know, Chalupa. I'm gonna play the game first. If I enjoy it, if I think it's cool, then I would be doing tournaments for that game as well. If we have enough players to make one, you know, if we can find the people and I enjoy it, I would do it. But okay, we talked about the alternative modes that the game would offer, other than the obvious ones. We talked about the online experience, the crossplay. Now, there's one more good expectation that I have for this game, which is the roster. That's the conversation you guys wanted to get to. And this game, again, we're talking about a 4v4 game. So each team having 4 different characters. This game cannot have less than 40 characters. I'm putting 40 here because if you think about, like, for example, in the trailer we got to see 8 characters already. Because each team having 4 characters, 2 teams, we got 8. If we had, let's say, 40 characters, you would be able to have 10 different teams, all of them containing a different character. Of course, you have more possibilities of teams if you change characters, but then you start repeating characters and teams. We're talking about like teams with no character repeating, 40 characters. 40 characters would give us 10 teams with no repetitions of characters. So this game has the potential to provide us the biggest roster we've ever had in a Marvel fighting game. I mean, if you look at Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is the one that has the most amount of players, it's a 3v3 game and we have 56 characters. 56 characters in a 3v3 game. Marvel 3 has 50 characters. It's a 3v3. If we're talking about a 4v4 game, we can have even more than that. No problem whatsoever in terms of when we're talking about not getting bored of the game and seeing diversity. In a 4v4 game, you're probably, if you don't have a lot of characters in the game, if you have only, let's say, 30, if you only have 25, I don't know, you're gonna be seeing the characters all the time, because, I mean, the chances of you repeating a character in the same team, especially in the fighting game where you have issues with balancing and the characters that are better, that are worse, and fan favorites, you're probably gonna see a lot of repetition. So they gotta give us a big roster, and when I say a big roster again, I want them to already give us at least 40 characters on the release. I want to open the game when it, day 1 and have 40 characters to select, at least 40 characters to select, which would be, I think, a good number to start for a 4v4 game. Now, of course, we can also talk about more being added up to the future. We're gonna get to that. But the roster in this game, in order for the game to not start to be like the same characters all over, they gotta have a big roster. And with the big roster, of course, multiple costumes. So we're talking about Marvel, guys. Each of those characters has had dozens of costumes throughout the years, so they can really explore and give every character at least, like Marvel did, like 5-6 different colors per character. You know, like outfits that they actually used in the comics and not do like, for example, what Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite did, where they have one costume and then they just switch the color. You know, just changing, for example, the red and blue for Spidey, switching into black and gray, or to red and gray. No, have the actual costume like Marvel 3 did. You got the classic, you got the symbiote, you got the cosmic, you got the Scarlet, you got the Ben Reilly. You know, give the possibilities for every character. Every Marvel character has. There is no excuse here for them to just not give the different colors or the costumes. They can make the costumes to be what they are in the comics. Just put it. A lot of them, you know. You might say, oh, but they will be adding a DLC. Can be a DLC as well. Of course, they can try to make money with that as well. But this game, my expectation for this game is that we have a huge roster and a ton of costumes. Considering it's a 4v4 game, we gotta have it. Okay, that's my expectations. Regarding characters, let's talk about it. Again, I've already talked about this. We're gonna have X-Men. Storm is already one of the revealed characters, so the problem of not having X-Men like we had in MVCI is not gonna happen. So put a ton of X-Men. I want Wolverine. I want Cyclops. We want Gambit. We want a Rogue, we want Iceman, Storm is there, thank God. We want villains as well. Magneto is one of the fan favorites, the villain. We want You can put other villains in there too, like Juggernaut is fun. You can have Mystique, you can have many. You got a ton of X-Men to explore. Put a lot of X-Men in this game, please. Still talking about the roster, we already have many Avengers. We saw Captain America, we saw Iron Man, Ms. Marvel is a part of them, if I recall correctly as well. Add the most obvious ones as well, Hulk, Thor. You can put different ones like Hawkeye, that is also in Marvel. You can have Ant-Man. All the ones that you see, I mean, Avengers we've seen a lot on the cinematic universe, so there's a lot to explore here, and they're probably gonna do that. So Avengers is not something I'm that worried about because I think they're gonna get it covered. But I really want them to focus on X-Men characters, as I said. Guardians of the Galaxy, we already have Star-Lord, so they're probably gonna add others as well. Nova, I would like to see Nova. He's not that known and he hasn't been in movies, but we love him in Marvel 3, so have Nova back. And one thing that we gotta talk about is Fantastic Four. Everybody's talking about it as well. I mean, we're talking about a 4v4. It's perfect to have the Fantastic Four there. We didn't have one single Fantastic Four character in the entire franchise of Marvel vs. Capcom up until today. The only character we had was Dr. Doom, which is the villain, and the Super Skrull, which is meant to have the power of all the Fantastic Four members, which again, I understand their idea of putting Super Skrull. It's basically like putting all the characters into one, but I wish to see them separately. Let people play the Fantastic Four team. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, The Thing, and Human Torch. Put all of them so they can make a team just of Fantastic Four. Let us have a Marvel game with Fantastic Four, please. Okay? So this way again, a bunch of Avengers, X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy are probably gonna have more. Put up the Fantastic Four. Bring up the fan favorites. Deadpool gotta be there. Everybody loving Deadpool a lot more nowadays. Have the Deadpool. Add other characters that people talk that don't get a lot of love, like Daredevil, Iron Fist. There was in Marvel 3 as well. Was a fun character. Put him there too. Could be fun to play with him. You know, give us variety. Bring us different characters in case you want to, like Ms. Marvel was a character that I didn't really know much up until Marvel Avengers came out. Now they're putting this one. Bring out the different characters, but bring in the big guns as well. You cannot leave, like I said, for example, Deadpool out of this. You cannot leave a Thor out of this with the Avengers or Hulk. You cannot leave a Wolverine, a Cyclops, a Gambit out of this. Put them there. Put them all there. We gotta see this. You know, you could have other villains like Silver Surfer. I've seen people saying that they would like to see in a Marvel game as well. Silver Surfer could also be somewhat of a semi-boss on the arcade before Galactus. I don't know. Silver Surfer could be interesting. You know, try to keep it going, man. Bring in the characters. Bring in the characters. For character roster again, so multiple. The ones that I'd like to see the most that they focus and they don't leave behind is the Fantastic Four and the X-Men that we've been missing in Infinite. And some villains, of course. Venom, I expect Venom, I want Venom, so I can have my classic Spider-Man versus Venom matchup. You can bring other classic villains that people enjoy as well. Captain America villains, we've only had a Winter Soldier. Maybe have him there again. Winter Soldier has become a little more famous. Have Winter Soldier, maybe US Agents, something like that. Villains from Iron Man, we don't have many, but we could have the Mandarin. Mandarin could be an interesting one. He's got the Rings of Power. You could explore a bunch of different attacks with Mandarin. Could be a good option. Loki, everybody talks about Loki. People enjoy the character and we've never seen that villain. Let's have Loki in the game as well. We could have that villain for Thor. You know, bring them the villain for Hulk. You can have the classic Hulk villain, the Abominable. I don't know if that's how you call it in English, but you know, so that every character or at least every group of heroes can have their respective villain. You know, so that you can always have those cool matches. That would be nice for you to be able to have canon fights. You know, between the character and their proper villain. Have at least one per character or per group of characters. That is already gonna make the experience a lot better. So that's what I expect for the roster. You guys talked about many different characters. I'm gonna take a look at the chat now to read them, to read a few here. because this is a topic that a lot of you were waiting for, I imagine, because again, roster is something that we all love. I mean, we're talking about literally the characters we're gonna be playing, right? So let's see what you guys have here. Wow, we got a lot of messages. I'm gonna try going through them all and not take too long. Let's see. Let's see. What do you guys have? Let's see. Cada update trazer 4 personagens novos, né? Vamos ver qual que eles vão fazer, né, cara? Se eles trouxerem, vai ser sempre fácil, vai ser de graça ou não. Já vou comentar disso aí. Updates também vai ser uma coisa que eu vou comentar aqui, mas poderia, né? See, yeah, that I agree with you, Sams. I was being a little generous with 40, but I agree. If a 3v3 game with 50 characters naturally requires for a 4v4 game to have at least more than 60 characters. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, if you're already had 50 in the past for less fighters per team, it's only natural that you expect to have a bigger roster for a 4v4 in the game that comes after. It's only natural. I said 40 as a start, but I think they can increase as time passes, right? We keep adding more characters. But I think 40 is the very minimum they gotta launch the game with. Gotta have at least 40. But yeah, 60 I think would be a fine number. 60 would be a fine number. I thought of 80, but I think 80 would be too crowded, and there is a problem having too much as well. We're gonna talk after that. But 60 could be a fine number for this game. I think it would be a fine number. Let's see. This is something important as well, Raptor, like focusing on roster diversity, not adding similar characters in terms like share similar abilities or powers. For one side, I agree, so we can have diversity in the gameplay, but we gotta see if they got the possibility of adding similar characters. Like I mentioned, for example, Captain America and US Agent, they're pretty much the same powers, or Spider-Man and Venom. If they can have same characters and still give them very unique movesets and make them feel different, could be an interesting experience. But then we're getting to the aspect of how effective they are in making each character unique. So we have that problem that if the characters have similar abilities, we may have the issue of the game being too similar, everybody feeling the same. That can be a potential issue. You're right, Raptor. Let's see. E aí, Adriel, beleza, mano? Let's see. I'm sure they only made it 4v4 to have Fantastic Four. I mean, you wish, right? I mean, I think that at this point it's obvious that people are expecting Fantastic Four, but I think they're gonna get this covered. I believe they're gonna get this covered.
Oh, you go.
You would like to see more villains. Yeah, exactly, Raptor. We haven't seen a lot of them. Like in Marvel vs. Capcom, if you can take, we've seen Thanos, we've seen Blackheart, we've seen a lot of Shumagorat. We've seen a few X-Men villains like Magneto, Omega Red, Juggernaut, Sabretooth. We've seen some weird X-Men that I didn't even know existed, like that ninja guy. I totally forgot his name that uses a sword. Man, he's so forgettable in my mind, but we had a few villains like this. We got Doom, the classic. We've had Galactus as the boss, Apocalypse as a boss, but we have Ultron in MCI. We had a few villains, so we had MODOK, we had Dormammu, but we had Venom. We could explore that as well. Green Goblin Green Goblin would be crazy. I think would give a lot of work, but could be an interesting character. let's see. Daredevil, as I mentioned, Daredevil, character we've never seen. Deadpool, Cyclops, Venom, Carnage, Carnage and Venom, maybe. Yeah, depends on how they would do. Could be interesting if they could make it different, you know. Give us one heroes as a playable character. My attack would be saying, what? Let's see. Blade is a cool possibility. Blade is a cool possibility. I didn't remember about him. But Blade could be nice. Imagine Blade in this game. It could be a good assist. It could be a good, like, rushing character. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. I didn't plan to talk about the maps, Raptor, but for maps, yeah, we're probably gonna focus on having the classics from the Marvel universe, you know, classic scenarios that we see, like Daily Bugle, maybe Avengers Tower, Fantastic Four Tower, having, I don't know, Asgard, having, you know, classic places where they fight villains, where they end up meeting each other to rest, the HQs, maybe have a shield helicarrier, a scenario, stuff like that, you know, scenarios from Marvel. I hope that they focus, and that they are very clear and easy to see. Please, don't make maps that people can't see the characters. Please, please, I beg. Make clear maps so that we can see what's going on. The focus is to see what's going on. If it just makes it visible, I'm already gonna be happy. That's all I want.
Ready? Fight!
Oh, Black Cat! Black Cat, I would love to see Black Cat. That is another character that I would love. No, wow, she would be my main, definitely. Spider-Man, Black Cat, Captain America, Ghost Rider. I would get Doom out of there to put her easy, 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 easy. No dark maps, please. Just make all maps Bone Wonder. Make all maps Bone Wonderland. Yeah, make them clear. We want to see the game, please. That is something positive also about the game, for what I saw. When I talk about the design, the art of the characters, but the maps also looked very good so far. I haven't paid much attention to detail in that, and we haven't seen many maps, but so far it looks good. Please continue making it look good. Don't make it impossible to see. That's a main issue I have also. So this is it for the good expectations for the game. Again, rewind, crossplay, good online experience, a big roster with multiple costumes, and many alternate modes for us to play: story mode, arcade mode, versus possible 3v3, 2v2, 1v1, 1v2, 1v3, 1v4, 2v3, 2v4, you know, and able to change it, and maybe having multiple players playing the same team, each one controlling a character, mission modes. So these are the good expectations that I have for the game. Now let's talk about the bad expectations, and now we're gonna enter in the part of the conversation that we were probably the main conversation of all when it comes to this game and what it represents for the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. We're gonna cover a few things first, but then we're gonna get to the bottom of line of this game. So one of my biggest concerns for this game, regarding the game itself, is how much of a chance do we have for this game to be completely busted and unbalanced? I mean, we're talking about a 4v4 game. Like in Marvel, it's 3v3, and we got assists that are broken, we've got THCs that are broken, we've got DHCs that are broken, we've got tag infinites that are broken. And apparently this game is going to provide us many different possibilities to use the characters. I already mentioned a few. I'm going to rewind here real quick for gameplay. I noticed you can tag in this game, you can double tag, you can use assists, you can use crossover counters, you can use text as in team aerial combo. This is what I was able to see. I mean, I'm using the names that we see in Ultimate Marvel 3. but it's probably gonna be called something else, but it looks similar. So there are many ways you can use your partners, and now you're gonna have 3 partners to rely on, not only 2, because it's a v4 game. So you're gonna have the one on screen and 3 to support you. There is even a moment in the trailer, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a moment where we had all 8 characters on screen. All freaking 8 characters on screen. And this is the first reveal trailer that we're seeing. 8 characters. The chance of this game being unbalanced is huge. It's just huge. I mean, think about it. First, we are just talking about the possibility of you calling your assist to help you. That possibility alone can already make it very hard for you to balance the game. It's gonna be very hard balancing this game, just because of how many partners you have. But if that wasn't enough, you still got the problem that, again, just like myself, most people are expecting a huge roster. It's 4v4. If on a 3v3 game we had 50 characters, we had 56, on a 4v4 we expect to have just as many, if not more. We expect even more. I said 40 just to start, and then the characters that come after. Balancing 40 characters, 50 characters, 60 characters, or even more than that, 70, 80. It's gonna be so hard. You gotta balance the character when he's on the screen, and you gotta balance him when he's providing assists. There's gonna be tons of patches, I imagine, to fix potential problems in characters that are too broken, that are too good, that provide too much backup that is so broken, that have too much damage, that have too much life. Imagine having to handle all those characters. So I believe that they're gonna have a terrible time making this game a balanced experience. Not that, when I say balanced, I want you to understand that I don't mean that I want the game to not have a single character that is better than the other. Everybody gotta be on the same level. I'm not talking about that. I play Marvel vs. Capcom, and I know Marvel vs. Capcom is a broken game. But what I mean by that is, I don't want the game to have like 60 playable characters and be like Marvel 2 where you can only play 6. You know? If we have a Marvel game with so many characters on your team as well available to support you, I want most of the cast, no matter how big he is, if it's again 40, 50, 60, 80 characters, I want most of the cast to have the possibility of being played and you not having to, I don't know, be 1,000 times better than your opponent to win. Because the character has good resources to fight and to defend himself, and that the other characters are not so much weaker or so much stronger to the point where it's even impossible to compete. That's all I'm asking. I don't want characters to be impossible to compete. I want them to be able to fight each other, even though of course some are going to be a little better, some are going to be a little worse. I would like the experience to have more variety in terms of possibilities of like characters. And in a game like this, it's going to be super hard. So I'm really afraid with this. This is my biggest issue for the game. I feel like it's going to be too hard, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to handle this. It's not that I don't believe the Arc system can do it, but I just feel like it's too hard, and I don't know if any company would be able to pull this off in a way that it's gonna be enough at least to please me in terms of how balanced the game is. And I'm really working for it. I don't know, I'm gonna read your opinion, guys, because I feel like this is gonna be the biggest issue for the game, for the actual game. I feel like this is gonna be the biggest issue. But let's see. See what you guys think about it. Let's see. Yeah, they gave it the MC2 outfit, which in my opinion is the coolest Sims. I wish Storm had that outfit for Marvel 3 as well. She looks so good in that one. That one is my favorite for her, at least out of the ones that I've seen so far. I would really like for her to have that costume Marvel 3 as well. Yeah, Sans, but again, unbalanced and broken are two different things. If everybody is broken, the game is balanced. You understand what I'm saying? If it's unbalanced, then you got a few that are broken and a few that are not even as nearly as good. That's what I don't want. I don't want unbalancing. If everybody is broken, then nobody is broken. It's just how the game works. You understand? Then we got balance. Everybody's great. Or everybody's bad. Okay, everybody's bad, then we got balance. Balance is about not having too much of a gap between the characters. Understand what I'm saying? So, it's not about everybody being broken or not broken. What I want is that everybody is around the same level, independently if it's broken or bad. You know? I just don't want too much disparity. See, we got Gio giving his opinion, saying that he hopes that Arc System knows what they're doing when it comes to balancing the game. He plays Guilty Gear, which was also made by them, and he doesn't think that they know what they're doing in that game when it comes to balance. So this is a bad sign. I mean, if the company already made a game, a fighting game, and that company has issues balancing that one, you can already expect that they might have issues with this one too. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, same thing. Raptor is saying the exact same thing as Sans. He said he loves the unbalanced nature of the games because he loves to see chaotic stuff. And he hopes that everybody's broken. Raptor, you're committing the same issue as Sans. Unbalancing is different than than brokenness. Unbalancing is the difference between the level of characters. If everybody is broken, we got balance. We got everybody being around the same level. Unbalancing would be two broken characters in one side, terrible characters in the other side. You know? That is unbalancing. If everybody is broken or everybody is bad, then we got balance, you know? That's what I want. I want balance. I don't care if they're all broken or all bad. I want balance. If they're all broken, cool. Then we're gonna have the Marvel feeling like we always have. But in Marvel vs. Capcom, we naturally have, especially for example in Marvel 2, characters that are broken and characters that are completely trash. They can't compete at all. You can be the best human being in the planet in terms of playing Marvel. If you play a intermediate player with the most powerful characters, the chances are that both of you are gonna be tying, or that you even lose, even though you're the best. Those are the chances, you know. It's very rare for you to see a player play low-tier characters and stand a chance against someone playing high tiers. This is completely unbalanced, you know. But if you're saying, oh, I want everybody to be broken, then you'll be able to play any character in the game and compete with any character in the game. That's what I want. I want balance. As much as possible, of course. Again, it's impossible for every character to be good. Of course, there's going to be some that are better, some that are worse. But I would like to have as many characters as possible around the same level so that we can play most of the cast. That's the idea. Let's see. Exactly. Yeah. Then I understand. If you want everybody to be broken, you want everybody to be good. That would be cool in my opinion. As long as you can fight others, that's cool. And being broken is a classic of Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. It's something you would expect, right? I know this is not Marvel vs. Capcom, but it's so similar that of course we're gonna be comparing. So yeah, I mean it's something that you would expect for every character to be good. Let's see if they can nail that. That's my biggest fear. Hope they can. Oh yeah, for real. You said it, and now Raptor also said that too. You and Raptor agree. Everybody broken instead of everybody fair or nerfed. Okay. My opinion, I would like more of the balance. I'd rather have balance even though everybody is fair and bad than having broken and bad. I prefer balance no matter the situation. But if I could choose the balanced version, either being everybody broken, everybody fair, everybody nerfed, everybody fair to everybody broken would be somewhere where I would stand, because again, that's more like Marvel. But I would rather everybody fair and everybody nerfed than a few too powerful and the rest can compete. I still prefer balanced over broken. That's what I prefer. But again, it's up to the people, right? Alright, so guys, again, this is one of the bad expectations that I have for the game. I hope for the best, but considering the situation, I feel like we are gonna have this issue. Because it's just too hard to not have it, but that's how I feel. That's one of my bad expectations. A second bad expectation that I have for this game is regarding what the director, I think it was the director that said, that you only need to master one character and you'll be able to play this game, because he wants to make this game accessible. And he's offering simple modes and normal modes. I don't have issue with simple modes or normal modes. Of course, beginner players can take benefit of simple modes and be able to start playing the game without needing to spend too much time on training before actually going to a real match. Okay, but I'm really afraid when he says that he wants to make this game accessible and that you only need one character, to master one character to play this. Is he talking that in a competitive way, or is he talking about just playing the game normally? Because I'm afraid this game might be low effort. And when I say low effort, I mean, like, for example, you get a veteran player that is playing fighting games his entire life. You get a player that really spends a lot of time in this game, and then you get a player that has started playing this game for, like, I don't know, 1 month or 2. They can make the game in a way where, let's say, I don't know, assists are busted or characters' tags are busted, and then with the press of one single button, you can already call your partners, and your partners are going to simply clear the entire path for you, are simply going to give you the hits easily, because, I don't know, the assists in this game are too broken, or, I don't know, the backups are too strong, and then you don't really have to fight for a hit, you don't have to fight to actually get your hits, to do your combos. The combos are going to be easy. Getting in is going to be easy because you can call backup at any time and you got 3 backups. Fighting the game is just going to be easy as a whole. There's not going to have... You won't really have to study the game much to be able to succeed. That is something I'm worried about, because if we are talking about a 4v4 game and the one responsible for making the game says you don't need to master, you only need to master one character. I mean, you're making a 4v4 game and I only need to master one? Are you serious? I mean, in MVCI it's 2v2. If you only know one character, you're gonna get bodied. In Marvel 3, if you only know one character, you're gonna get bodied. You gotta know the 3. If you know 2 and 1 is lacking, you can already get bodied. These games require you to learn, require you to train, require you to practice, and the more that you do that, the more rewarding the experience feels. Because you'll be able to explore more, you'll be able to enjoy the game on a bigger level. But you telling me that you need to master only one character in a 4v4 makes me feel like it doesn't matter if you train a lot or not, you're gonna be around, all gonna be around the same level of how easy or hard it is for you to win. This, for me, is a bad expectation, because I like and I feel like the game is better when you practice it. I think it feels more rewarding to play the game when you practice, when you learn better combos, when you learn better mix-ups, when you learn better pressure tools. If it's all gonna be like, okay, this is how you pressure, there's not many ways you can improve it, then, I mean, I feel like it's gonna get boring soon, you know? It feels like it's gonna get boring very soon for somebody like me, for somebody that enjoys studying the game. Same thing for combos. If you look at MPCI, for example, combos all did around the same damage. No matter the character that you played, the combos all dealt around the same damage. Of course, some characters can do a little bit more, a little bit less, but nothing that is game-changing. In Marvel 3, some characters can cut, some characters can't. You have diversity, and the better the combo that you do, the higher chance you have to getting a KO. Sometimes a pixel is left because you didn't optimize the combo in Marvel 3, and that can cost your entire match. In MVCI, it's more likely that if you do the very basics, like if you do a auto combo, using simple mode, you do an auto combo, you're gonna do around the same damage as an optimal combo that requires a lot of execution. This just doesn't. It doesn't pay off for you to be good, for you to learn advanced combos. It doesn't pay off. It's better to do the basic, and that's it. Because you're not gonna drop, because it's too basic, and it's gonna do around the same damage. It will do a very advanced combo that requires a lot of execution, and chances are you're gonna drop it anyway. So why practice, you know? That's my issue. That's one thing that I don't like. People that like simple stuff are probably gonna say this is a good expectation for the game to be low effort, because they don't really want to put too much effort into the game. But for my personal opinion, I like putting in the effort, and I feel like it's more rewarding. So for me, it's something bad. For you, it can be something good. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe this is gonna cause some controversy. You know? Maybe it's gonna cause some controversy. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Spider-Man has a counter the Spider Sense. I like it. I mean, it's one of the first games they implemented the Spider Sense. They did in MVCI, but in a weird way because it's an attack. Here it's actually a counter. I thought about the possibility of Spider-Man doing a counter Spider Sense multiple times, but they never implemented. Now they did. That actually makes me happy. I like it. Spider Sense is so good for a counter. That idea had to be implemented. I'm so glad they did it. Chalupa saying he thinks that the game is gonna have rounds. Personally, I don't think that's gonna be the case, because if it's a 4v4 and again, a 3v3 fast-paced like Marvel has 99 seconds. 99 Marvel seconds. Each second equals 3 seconds, so we can have up to 300 seconds in a match. And that can take up to 5 minutes. A 3v3 game with X Factor. Can you imagine how long it would take for a match of 4v4, possibly without X Factor, to last? If we still had rounds? That would be a lot, but it depends on how much damage you do per attack and per combo. Of course, you gotta take a look on that. Maybe characters can thought easily, get kills easily. We don't know. But man, if it's gonna be 4 rounds, I think this game's gonna be super long. I really think so, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Gonna have to wait and see this one. Let's see. Elton Oloco, I've been doing a full review of the trailer analysis, giving my thoughts, giving info about the game. And in case you want to check it all, just check out the stream again. I talked about a lot of things. We're currently talking about the bad expectations, because there are some things that I expect that the game is going to be bad for what I saw. But I already talked about the good expectations, the good, the bad of the game, talked about the gameplay, and talked about what we know about the game so far. So be sure to check out the full stream if you're interested in the full review. I mean, I've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes almost, so it's a lot to cover. Let's see. Oh, I see what you mean, Chalupa. So he thinks it's gonna be rounds, and that you're only gonna have one character. If you lose that character, then you lose the round. I see. That's why you believe it's gonna be on rounds. I believe you gotta KO all the 4 characters. I understand it's gonna be like that. You gotta KO all 4 to win. But I think the idea of mastering just one, that's not well explained. That's not well explained. So I want them to give more time for that. Thank you for the follow, Bluebird FG. Hope you're enjoying the Heroes cast here. Hope you're enjoying the stream, dude. But yeah, that part really got me confused too, man. I hope that's not the way he said, honestly. Thank you for the love, Raptor. Exactly, Steroids. You also got this problem. If the game is too simple and too easy and you can learn too fast, you lose interest in the game too fast. Like Marvel 3 is alive till today because of how complex the game is. How many things there are for you to learn. I mean, you've played the game for 10 years, 12 years like I've been doing right now, 12, 13 years, and there's still stuff to learn, you know? There's still gap for me to get better. So that's what we want to do. We want to explore it, you know? If the game is just too simple, you just lose interest too soon. That is something that could be bad for the longevity of the game as well. Exactly, steroids! Food tastes better when you're the one cooking because, you know, it takes longer for you to actually appreciate it. So, exactly. Yeah, I got what you're trying to say, Chalupa. Yeah, it makes sense what you said. But I don't think that's the way it's gonna go, to be honest. Yeah, Raptor, that is a possibility for a bad expectation. I put that in good expectations because I expect for them to put many modes. I expect them to give variety and diversity, so I put on good, but it could be bad. If they don't do it, it could be bad. It would definitely be bad. Alright, Honterias Gaming, GG's dude, have a great night. Thank you for the love, Ipsy Kitty. Don't you guys fight over that, okay? Okay, this is one of the bad expectations. The low efforts, and another bad expectation that I have is again regarding the roster. I think it should be big. You guys also share that you think it should be big too, but just exactly because of the reason that it has to be big that I get worried, because this could lead into a DLC madness. I mean, the game is gonna be available, we're gonna have to pay for it. If they leave too many characters out on purpose so that they can sell more DLC characters, it's gonna be so complicated, because I mean they can profit a lot on DLC here. Not only for again for characters, they can sell characters and they can sell costumes. And this game again, if it's got a big roster, which it should have, just gives them so much possibility to farm money. They can farm money easily. They're gonna sell the game, and then they're gonna release 5 more characters here, 5 more characters there, 3 more characters here, 3 more characters there, more costumes here, more costumes there.
JJ.
This way, you're gonna make a lot of money. Thank you, Raptor. Thank you, Raptor. Appreciate, dude. Thank you for the contribution. And this way they can just farm money easy. And this is something to worry about, in my opinion. Because, I mean, of course, I would like to get the DLC characters, but I feel like they have the perfect opportunity to screw you up here. I feel like they have the perfect opportunity to screw you up, to make you buy a lot more than you actually needed, and make a lot of money on the people. I hope they don't do that. I hope that if they add characters, they add a lot of them for if you want to charge, at least offer everybody, you know, for a good amount of price. Not a lot of money for a few characters, then a lot of money for a few extra. A reasonable amount of money for everybody, you know. Don't charge too much, or even add the characters for free, which I think is very unlikely. Adding characters for free is very unlikely. Maybe costumes for free. Add costumes for free and charge the characters, but don't charge them too much, please. You know, don't. Just because you have the opportunity, please don't do that. Try to sell the game instead of selling DLCs much. They can also, this is another problem. They can make broken characters as DLC to force you to buy, and this is another problem because they can force you to buy the character so that you can win the matches, so that you can win the tournaments, and then you gotta spend more money in case you want to win. This is a problem that ties in with the unbalancing. Unbalancing and DLCs can be such a powerful force to force you to spend money to actually play the game. So I'm afraid. I'm afraid, and this is one of my bad expectations, the DLC madness. I'm gonna read your messages here, and then we are gonna talk about the last bad expectation that I have, and probably the most important in this entire stream. Thank you for the love, Raptor. It's crazy, yes, Sam. That was a big coincidence. Thank you for the love, Ipsy Kitty. Chalupa doing the gong loops. The dude wasn't even playing, man. Made by Sony. Left to see a ton of DLCs. Yeah, I see DLCs coming too, and that scares me, but oh man. Now the main issue that I have. The main issue that I have, and that is basically the topic of this video. The main issue that we are all worried about, the elephant in the room. Is this the end of Marvel vs. Capcom franchise? Is this Marvel TOKO the end of Marvel vs. Capcom? Now, I'm gonna be real honest with you. No, it's not the end for Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't believe that. And if anybody tells you it's the end, they are probably very, very cocky. As Virgil would say, I would say don't get so cocky, because you can never be sure about the future. There are many situations where you think a franchise is gone and then it comes back. Like, for example, Devil May Cry. We had Devil May Cry 4 on 2008. 2013, they rebooted the franchise. You thought, okay, they rebooted the franchise. The franchise is dead. Now it's just a reboot. And then in 2019, 11 years after Devil May Cry 4, they make Devil May Cry 5 a direct continuation from 4, even after a reboot was in the middle. So the franchise survived a reboot. It's possible for those things to happen. All it takes is a human being, or a couple, a group of human beings that want to do and make the thing happen. So it's not impossible for Marvel vs. Capcom to come back. It's not impossible. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was released on the year of 2000. Marvel 3, 2011. Took 11 years for another Marvel vs. Capcom to come back. So just because it's been like 2017 MVCI, we're in 2025. 2026, 9 years after MVCI, we're gonna get this Marvel TôKON game. Just because we are not getting a Marvel vs. Capcom game right now, even though it's almost 10 years since the last one came out, even though there's a new attempt at making a Marvel fighting game, doesn't mean that Marvel vs. Capcom is dead. But it does mean that it's gonna be a lot more complicated to see a Marvel vs. Capcom game happening, especially anytime soon. Because let's face it, if Marvel is working on this Marvel TôKON game, I mean, Marvel knows what they're doing. Marvel knows they are making a game. It's not like, oh my god, I'm making a Marvel vs. Capcom game and now they revealed Marvel TôKON is coming out. I didn't see it coming. Of course they know. It's Marvel. So they knew Marvel TôKON was coming. So they're probably not working on Marvel vs. Capcom. And I don't know if it's because of lack of interest by Capcom side. Maybe it is, because if Marvel is making... Let's look at the logic. Let's think logically. If Marvel is getting a new fighting game, Marvel TôKON Fighting Souls, Marvel has the interest of making a fighting game. If they didn't have the interest, they wouldn't be making Marvel TôKON. So they have the interest of having a fighting game with Marvel characters. But they are taking Capcom away. Why are they taking Capcom out of the play? Probably because Capcom doesn't have the interest of focusing on a Marvel vs. Capcom game right now. Probably want to focus on whatever they're focusing. Street Fighter, Resident Evil. Maybe they're working on Devil May Cry, Wish, I don't know. But they are not focusing on Marvel vs. Capcom. So Marvel decided to take them off the play and try to do it their own way. Or maybe Capcom is interested, but Marvel said, I don't want to work with you right now anymore, I want to do something solo, because I want to do my own thing. We never know what is the reason for this Marvel TôKON to be coming out and not a Marvel vs. Capcom. But the fact is, if we are getting a Marvel game, fighting game, a Marvel fighting game with the Marvel characters, and especially in this specific way, a 4v4 tag team style of fighting game that is extremely similar to a Marvel vs. Capcom game, it's very unlikely that Marvel has plans to make a Marvel vs. Capcom, because they're literally remaking the Marvel vs. Capcom in a different way, taking away Capcom off the play and trying something different. So it's like the reboot. I feel like it's their idea of doing Marvel vs. Capcom, but in a way where they don't rely on Capcom and they can do things on their way without having to care about Capcom's opinions or even Capcom's unwillingness to try and have a game. I don't know who is the responsible for not wanting the Marvel vs. Capcom 4 to come out, but it's gonna be very hard for Marvel now to Marvel vs. Capcom to come back. It's not impossible, but it's gonna be hard. I mean, we all expected that with Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection coming out last year, that would be an opportunity for us to show the interest in the franchise by buying the games. If we bought the franchise, we would be showing Capcom that we have interest in Marvel vs. Capcom, and that would be a positive sign. So go, make Marvel vs. Capcom. We are interested. We want that game. We like that game. We showed the interest already in EVO 2023, if I recall correctly, where we had Marvel vs. Capcom 3 after 10 years, something like that. because back in the main event, we had over 1,000 people registering. It was amazing. Marvel 3 is alive until today. We got a lot of people playing, even though people didn't like Marvel Infinite. Marvel 3 is super alive. And now with the collection back, Marvel 2 has been aliver than ever, probably. And the older Marvel games are also being played a lot more than they used to. So Marvel vs. Capcom franchise is still alive. There are people interested on it. But I mean, they're probably not going to release a Marvel vs. Capcom game on top of another Marvel fighting game. So if we think logically, this is worrying. This is to worry. If you enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom franchise, it's something to be worried about, because let's say this Marvel Toko is their idea of a new attempt, and this attempt succeeds. If people actually enjoy this Marvel fighting game, there is a possibility that Marvel will say, okay, so we nailed it. We now have a new series that we can keep on doing. That gives us success. We get success, we make good sales, people enjoy it, they review it positively, and we don't rely on Capcom to make it. We can do it ourselves. We can do it in the way that we want, adding the characters that we want, and we even attract other types of players that are not just interested in fighting characters, fighting games in general, but it's the Marvel characters. I can see that happening now. Because let's face it, if you get an average Marvel fan to play Marvel vs. Capcom, yes, you got Marvel characters, but they're gonna be like, okay, why Capcom? Who's Capcom? Why is there a Virgil and a Dante here? Where is the rest of the X-Men that I wanted to see? And then if Marvel Toko comes in, giving us 60 characters, and all 60 are from Marvel, can you understand the difference? Like, we got 50 characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but 25 are from Capcom. You only got 25 characters from Marvel. A Marvel fan that wants to see Marvel characters in a Marvel Toko game with, let's say, as I was saying, maybe 40 or 50 or 60 characters that is just Marvel, we are talking about double the amount of characters. Even though it's not, it's the same number as you would have in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You don't have the Capcom, you only have Marvel. So for those who only care about the Marvel, which are a lot of people that enjoy the movies, the comics, and the characters, that is actually better. So it's gonna be a bigger motivation for them to buy the game.
Player one wins.
So it's to worry. It's to worry. I'm worried with the future of Marvel vs. Capcom with this. If this game succeeds, I feel like it could be the successor of Marvel vs. Capcom, the replacement of Marvel vs. Capcom. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If this game fails, which I'm not, I don't desire this game to fail. I desire this game to be something good and enjoyable because I want to enjoy and play it. But if it doesn't go well, maybe Marvel vs. Capcom can return someday. And even if it goes well, maybe it's a one-time game they're gonna make. People are gonna enjoy, and maybe if people enjoy this one, is the sign. Maybe Marvel wants to prove to Capcom, hey, let's make our partner. Look, we made a game, we did it alone without the Capcom characters, and look, it went super well. Let's make the partnership again, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. People want to see fighting games with the Marvel characters. Do you guys want to be a part of this again and have Marvel vs. Capcom 4? Maybe, we never know. I mean, we never know what the future stands. But it's really, it codes off the idea. I was actually feeling like Marvel vs. Capcom 4 was coming out after the collection got revealed, after that comic where Deadpool says, you should definitely put this movie down in Marvel vs. Capcom 4. There's a comic where Deadpool does like he shoots everybody around the room, spinning around, and he said, yo, they should definitely put this movie in Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So it was feeling like Marvel vs. Capcom 4 was going to be a reality to the collection of this. But now with this Marvel Toko, everything cools off. Everything cools off. We're in a situation where you cannot know anything. But if we look at it logically speaking, I feel like the franchise is being threatened. It's not over. It's threatened. And if Marvel Toko succeeds, there is a higher chance that we're gonna have to wait even longer for a Marvel 4, or maybe that it's not gonna come out. I know it sucks. I wish this was a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 announcement, but we get what we can get, right? And I'm gonna be playing this game. I'm gonna give it a shot, see how this goes. Hopefully it's gonna be enjoyable, but no matter how it goes, we still got many Marvel vs. Capcom games from the past, and I'm still gonna be playing them all. Hope you guys are also gonna be enjoying Marvel vs. Capcom games we have. Hope this new game's good, and let's all play and have fun, because that's the goal, right? But yeah, I think if we are getting another Marvel vs. Capcom game, it's probably gonna take us. Oh man, I was gonna say 5 years, but we don't know how long this Marvel Tokon can last, how many characters they're gonna bring, if they're gonna bring characters like 1 year, 1 year and a half, 2 years after the release date. We can't really make any predictions at this point. We can't really make any predictions at this point. All we can do is sit and wait and see how things go. That's what I would recommend for a Marvel vs. Capcom fan at this moment. Yes, things are harder now, like the franchise, but hope never runs away. I mean, there's still a chance we can have another one someday. But guys, let me read your thoughts on this. Let's see what you think. Let's see if you agree with me. If you believe that Marvel is gonna succeed or not. What do you think? Or that was the last point I had to talk about it. That was the last bad expectation, the last thing that I wanted to bring into discussion. And I wanna see what you guys think.
Target terminated.
Yeah, Sam says he hopes this is not the end of Marvel vs. Capcom, but it really looks like it. Again, it's a big possibility. Unfortunately, it's a big possibility. But again, nothing is impossible. Okay, so if you hear somebody saying, "Oh, we're never gonna have," it's somebody that wants to create chaos, dramatic. But the chance is real. Chalupa says he still wants MVC4. No, Raptor, no. I already got a girlfriend. Yeah, steroids, but you understand that Marvel is aware of things. Marvel has to give the okay when you're gonna make a Marvel Tokon game. Marvel has to give the okay when you're doing a collection. So if Marvel was okay with Tokon going and stuff like that, you understand that it's not like, oh wait, nobody knew this Tokon was coming in. So they have plans for Marvel. They had plans for Marvel vs. Capcom, but now they're waiting for Tokon. It's all the same company. It's all Marvel. Marvel knows about everything, and they decided to go for this Tokon. So it doesn't matter if the collection came out close and the game was already being developed, because it's Marvel. They said okay. It's not somebody else doing a game similar. It's not like it's, for example, myself, I'm gonna open a stream right now, and now you, Steroids, is also gonna open a stream. I don't know about yours, and then you I open mine before yours, and you say, okay, let's just wait until Heroes is over, and then I'm gonna open mine. No, man, it's not like that. It's like Marvel owns my stream and yours. And when I said I want to open a stream, Marvel already knew you were working on it. And he said yes anyway. So it's not like we weren't aware of the situation. Marvel knew everything, and they decided to go for this option anyway, even though they knew they could maybe wait a little bit more for Capcom to want to make the game, or maybe wait more to try and talk Marvel into doing it. So the situation is complicated, Marvel decided to do this. They decided to do this Marvel Tokon game. And they decided also for the collection. Nothing there is being hidden from Marvel. So, I mean, it's not impossible, but that logic, at least in my opinion, doesn't make much sense, because it's not like people didn't know about it, Gio says that he hopes for a new Marvel vs. Capcom game, but it's probably coming a lot later than I originally imagined it. Exactly. I agree with you. I thought that game was gonna be coming. I thought the game was coming when I saw the collection, but now that we got this, it just cools off the Marvel vs. Capcom, Exactly. That's it. Exactly. That is not gonna happen, Joe. They're not gonna announce Marvel vs. Capcom game right on top of this Tokon and then have two games competing with each other. That's not gonna happen. Definitely not. I mean, Marvel is not gonna make two games exactly the same, like super similar, and then one outselling the other, and then instead of making the two games separately, making money now and then making money in the future, putting both out there now, spending a lot of cash to make the money, and then people only buying one or the other. Of course, that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna have to wait more if MVC gets mentioned. Yeah, the MVC fans is something that could happen, but I mean, the MVC fans are here, have been here around for years, and they still didn't care much, honestly, if you stop to think about it. No news, no updates on MVCI, no fixing the game. They simply seem like they don't really care much, you know. You got tournaments going on, and Capcom doesn't seem to really care. They care more for Street Fighter, for Resident Evil, for the bigger companies, you know. And many of the Marvel vs. Capcom fans might enjoy Marvel TOKON. So it's not like every Marvel vs. Capcom fan is gonna go nuts and say, oh, okay, bring Marvel vs. Capcom back. Some of them might look at the game and say, hey, I like this. I'm down for this. You don't need to bring Marvel vs. Capcom back. This already pleases me. You never know. There are people that are gonna do that. And there will be the die-hard fans that are gonna say, hey, no, I want Marvel vs. Capcom, I don't want this. But I mean, there will probably be a part of the MVC Marvel vs. Capcom fan base that will enjoy this game. And then, again, you're not gonna have every fan going against it. Because some of them are probably gonna enjoy the game. I mean, at least, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. So you gotta agree with me that at least 1 or 2 or 10 or 100 are gonna enjoy this. So it's 100, it's a 10, it's 5, it's 100 people, 200 people that you're gonna lose defending Marvel vs. Capcom, and that were already asking for it while the game was, you know, being completely ignored by Capcom. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tough situation. I don't think again Marvel vs. Capcom is over, but it's tough. The fight for a new Marvel vs. Capcom just got a lot harder. Just got a lot harder. Nice, Shaloops. Nice, man. Keep on those matches coming. Oh, Raptor. Exactly. This attitude is exactly the dramatic attitude that I said people will do. Let's see. Yeah, I know, yeah. That's the point. Like, if you're not interested in Marvel anymore in Capcom, you're not gonna be happy with this. But it really depends on the person, you know? Like, for example, we had people that enjoyed Marvel and that enjoyed Capcom. Both of them were together asking for a Marvel vs. Capcom. And and then they deliver a Marvel vs. Marvel game. Half of the people that enjoy the Marvel, I mean, it's not half. It's not like half Capcom, half Marvel. Some people just enjoy the game as a whole. You know? Some of them are gonna be happy with this new game. Some of them will. It's impossible for not a single MVC fan to enjoy this game, or even like it better than MVC. It's impossible. I mean, humans are you can't control what they like or what they don't. So we had everybody that liked Marvel vs. Capcom complaining that there was no Marvel vs. Capcom. They deliver a product that is similar to Marvel vs. Capcom. Some of them like it. That some of them that like it are already not going to be complaining anymore. So you pleased at least a few people. So you have less people on your neck complaining that there is no Marvel vs. Capcom. Because now you gotta give that super. Understand what I'm saying? The force of Marvel vs. Capcom people asking for a game tends to get weakened. In my opinion, tends to get weakened. Unless the game sucks so bad, everybody hates it, and they just get mad because we didn't get the Marvel vs. Capcom game. That is the only way it will get stronger. But I don't think it's gonna get stronger in terms of numbers of fans of Marvel vs. Capcom. It's gonna get stronger probably on maybe because the game is so bad, the hatred towards the game is so big that, you know, I don't know if I explain myself. It's not gonna be about the quantity, it's gonna be more about the quality, you know, of how angry people are with the game. But I don't think it's gonna be that bad to that point. But let's see. We're gonna have to wait to see how the game goes. Berserker Brock, I don't do tutorials, I do coaching. If you're interested in learning any characters specific or specific stuff, you can send me a message on Discord. And private, the link for my Discord server is on the description of the live stream. Just check it out, send me a message on private, we can talk about it, but I don't do tutorials. I do the solo combos. If you'd like to see solo combos, just search Taskmaster solo combos and you'll find it. I have one for every character in the game for Marvel 3. Good Boy says he doesn't see Marvel vs. Capcom dead. Yeah, it's not. You can never say something is dead because at any moment in history it can come back. You know, you cannot say it can come back at any point. It's just gonna be a lot harder now. You know. No, it's not zero. It's not zero steroids. It's not zero. Of course it's not zero. It's not zero. It's just a lot harder. Because before it was just Marvel and Capcom. Marvel and Capcom was the only partnership. Now Marvel knows that they can count on Arc System to make a fighting game for them. There's somebody new in the market, you know? So now it's harder because you got competition. Now you got competition. Before you didn't have competition, now you do. It's not impossible. But the game got a lot harder.
Team aerial combo. Team aerial combo. Dancing guard.
Chalupa says he's only gonna play it because majority of the people that will play will be from MVC2. Yeah, man. I mean, I think the MVC players are probably gonna give it a shot at least. You know. Some people, I've already seen people commenting in groups, on Marvel vs. Capcom groups, that they are not interested because there's no Capcom or because it's not Marvel vs. Capcom, and they are not interested because they wanted the title to be Marvel vs. Capcom. So there will people that are not gonna even try the game. That's guaranteed. But there are people who will. You know, you got both. Have to see. I have no idea, Raptor. Full price of a new game. Plus the DLCs after. Let's see. Yeah, guys, so I think we are gonna get done for the discussion over here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It was the very first time I did a Heroes cast, which is what I like to call it. And I think I said everything that I noticed from the game trailer, everything, all the thoughts that I could gather while thinking about how it could affect the future of Marvel vs. Capcom, and all the thoughts and all the expectations I had for the game itself, and all the expectations that I had regarding how that would affect and relate to Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. I hope you guys enjoyed this very first Heroes cast. I have the idea to do more of those. But the future Heroes cast that I intend to do are gonna be not just to talk about news and stuff like that, but to also talk about games. Like for example Marvel 3, I had the idea of I'm gonna make a video out of it, but the idea was also could be a Heroes cast, like the best assists and position for every character in Marvel 3. I could make that in a live, you know, like a Heroes cast, discussing with you guys, showing what I think, showing in live why I believe the best position and the best assist for the characters. That one. I'm gonna be making a video out of it. We have already hit my super chat goal to make the video, so it's gonna be on a video. But for future discussions that we can have about Marvel 3, about Marvel 2, about the Marvel vs. Capcom games in general, or even this Marvel TOKON, whatever, I intend to have more Heroes casts where I do just like that. I open the stream, I'm here talking to you guys. I'm gonna focus more on the conversation. I'm gonna either leave lobby open, people playing on the background to have something to watch, or I'm gonna be demonstrating with gameplay myself. I'm gonna be playing the game and demonstrating in real time what I mean when I'm making a point in the middle of the discussion. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me your feedback if you can in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, leave your message on YouTube saying what you thought about this, the Heroes cast. This was the first one. I hope to bring out more. Leave your thoughts there. And guys, I'm gonna be here playing some Marvel 3 now on the lobby.